Hello Blood Bowl fans and welcome to another Wood Wars, this time against an admin that I haven't actually played before now. How horrible is that? This is actually a fresh blood with a guy I have been working with for literally months. I'm up against Rylock, who is a very, very good coach. He's one of the best coaches we have in the league actually. And he's going to prove it to us here by playing a team he's comfortable with against a team that I can't play for shit. I'm up with the Wood Elves again, and I'm taking the one that I actually started to build in AI. Shh. Though, they only basically went for a Steel League. They played 5 games, and now they've come into Wood. I just want to have a bit of play with them before I actually played with them competitively, because I can't play with Wood Elves. This team, Brambleborn, they've already had a War Dancer die, they've already had a Catcher die, and they've had about 6 deaths in 6 games, so that's good. And we're up against Rylock's Norse, which is one of his old Steel teams actually. They did really well. I think they may have even won the league, though I may be making that up. But anyway, we're playing against the Norse team, we're playing against a very good coach, and we're playing with a team that I'm really not comfortable using. But I'm going to watch this and I'm going to power through and try and see where I'm going wrong, which is basically everywhere I guess as Wood Elves. I also, funnily enough, played a game against Chris J recently, and I'm not going to let you know how it went, but it wasn't a good game for Chris. He was playing as Wood Elves and I was playing as Dark Elves. And I think I learned a lot from that game as well, seeing where, sorry Chris, but where Chris J went wrong in the game. And I do the same thing, that's more the point. Very interesting here that Rylock has started off this game telling me, hey look, my guys are going to punch you, and you're going to love it. So we've already started with the game set the way it's going to go. Norse are going to fight, which makes a lot of sense. It's what they do at the end of the day. And my Wood Elves, I look at these War Dancers and I always feel like they need to go to the toilet or something. I can't stand these guys really, they're so annoying. But there we go. So, good start, both of us get a rock in the face. That's dead. That's a really bad start for Rylock, and that's the Apo already. At least it went to a no casualties, so he's going straight to the bench. And my guy takes a stun, so I think I got the better end of the stick there. Though that's a really rough first turn, especially for Rylock. So he's already a man down, though that man is going to come back. And he does have a bench of 1, just to point that out as well. And Rylock started with a very aggressive stance, showing me that basically the line is going to come straight for me, which is fair. And I made the stupid mistake of not changing the setup, meaning that these 2 pieces could have been surfed, and with the rock knocking out this piece, it means the War Dancer can be surfed. So, before we've even started, I made the mistake of not moving my guys. So, whatever you do not do this against Norse. It's just an easy way to get surfed. And Cuddles, this guy, managed to stun my lineman as well. And we're going to actually try the surf with the Berserker, which is more sensible, because the Berserker has block, and it looks like it's going to be successful. It is. Bye this War Dancer. I haven't named these guys because I did originally have them as a team... a team playing against AI, so I just took AI names. And that's a reroll gone already, that might help me a little bit, though the Norse pieces do have 3. And he's using a lineman as a ball carrier, which is a bit strange, but this lineman does have plus agility, so it does make a lot of sense. And he has put pieces back in support of the ball. Now, I had the conclusion here that because they are also armor value 7, if I can pick my fights, maybe I can actually do enough damage to keep the numbers relatively normal. The issue with doing this, well, doing this especially, is I'm giving away too many blocks. Though I don't think this was quite the intention, I just changed my mind as to which one I was going to punch. I do want to try and do some damage to as many pieces as I can do, because they have the same armor value as me. They don't really want to get punched just as much as I don't want to get punched. So I'm going to try and have a slight war of attrition with them, try and knock out as many pieces as I can. Really shouldn't have followed there though. The only reason I did follow was to get the extra dice on this piece, but it's given a potential free piece field day on my second War Dancer. And I've already lost a War Dancer to a Surf. And this block definitely works, but he didn't need more than that, so that's enough. War Dancer is down, so it's not really going to affect him. And all in all, I think I've really done quite poorly in this first turn, and I've already lost a Wood Elf as a result of me being a little bit too aggressive with basing too many pieces, including the Yeti, which is probably not a good idea, though at least his claw is useless against my team. And Rylock, of course, moves the ball into a place where all of the Norse can stand around and have a nice big haka. There's no way my Wood Elves are breaking into that. Though we'll try. We will try. To be honest, whenever I'm playing as Wood Elves, I kind of get the same feeling all the time. I just feel really uncomfortable, and I don't know what to do with my guys. So, when it comes to playing Wood Elves, I'm as much a rookie as somebody who's just picked up the game. To be honest, not the team I'm very comfortable playing at all. And that's a second injury already on Alona. So 2 guys out. I'm down to 9 against Rylock's 12. On turn 2. Right, I finally do what Wood Elves are supposed to do when I set up a screen. Though, again, not entirely sure I'm doing the right thing here, but mostly I just want to make sure the ball isn't coming forward for a couple of turns. And I'm going to try and knock out that Berserker, though everybody else is going to stay roughly out of the way. And I'm going to have to use a reroll already, which is a shame. But it's necessary, and if I can knock out the Berserker, that's really good news. But I can't. Now I'm just going to finish securing the... Okay, I'm just going to finish securing the screen, though to be honest this piece should have come back as well. Just giving Rylock a chance to go sideways instead of forcing his way forward. By leaving him here, I've only given Rylock one direction. Also Justin Bieber. No, that's a bad joke, stop it! Anyway, so let's see what we can do here. He's going to try and force my plus strength, I have a plus strength lineman by the way, he's going to try and force my plus strength lineman to the edge, but it fails. I have a plus agility lineman as well. He's somewhere. He's here? Yes. Plus agility dodge and plus strength. So there are some interesting pieces on both teams actually. I have a thrower who's completely useless because he's -1 agility. And Rylock is trying to force my guys to the side, using his frenzy to good use there. Luckily he wild animals. And interesting players on the Norse side, we have an agility plus lineman. There's a Berserker who's pretty disgusting. Oh no, they both have Mighty Blow, wrong team. And one of the Elves is maybe interesting, the one that's injured? No, they're both rookies. Okay. The Norse aren't that interesting after all. Though, all the same, they're pretty terrifying. I'm going to try and force my way onto the ball here. I'm actually going to hit the ball, that's even better, with a 1 die. And I've got to reroll that because I need the ball to go down. That's not a good scatter, and the War Dancer is not exactly where I want him to be, but on the plus side I can put a little bit of pressure on Rylock with that play. I'm taking the 1 die against the Ulp as well because I prefer that to dodging out and leaving the other guy to get punched. So Rylock's going to have to reposition his team, though it's not going to take a lot of work. Honestly, this game just wasn't a very good one for me, but that's going to be a pattern with Wood Elves for a long old while. I hope I do get better, and I hope I can learn from these matches, but at the moment, it's not proving itself very useful. What I found playing as Dark Elves, and I would suggest this to anybody who is transitioning from a more control bash style to an agility style, what I've tried with Dark Elves is basically really taking my time on turns and not thinking really hard about what I'm doing, where the pieces are going to go as a whole team, not as individuals, whereas as a control team you can kind of move it as individuals and see how it develops. We had a frenzy on the thrower that knocked him off the pitch, he got surfed. And the... Yeah, that's all. So the frenzy piece managed to surf off my thrower, And I think the War Dancer got knocked out as well, though I can't see him knocked out at the moment. But he doesn't seem to be on the pitch, so I missed the knockout. I'm trying to talk more in general playing this game though, because I'm finding that transitioning from one style to another style is really quite difficult. I can do it with Dark Elves and High Elves to an extent, but the Wood Elf game is completely different to, for example, what we do with Orcs. And this is really good news for me. The agility piece that is the main ball carrier is out of the game, as the Apo has already been used, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. If I'm going to hurt a piece, I'm quite glad it's that piece that gets hurt. And we're going to try and take the ball. Yeah, this is where the skates came on. Whey! He's actually went here. Yeah, so some weird things happening with the animations there, but that was fun. And that is my agility piece with dodge, so I'm going to go half potato, but he has the best chance of standing out of the whole team. I could have thrown the ball out of the way, that may have been an option, instead of leaving the ball where it is. But he's knocked out, and I'm going to Apo that because he is the key piece in this matchup. So he is now no casualty. Normally you wouldn't give a lineman Apo rights, as people call it, but I thought it was necessary in this matchup to have that plus agility piece. I probably would have done the same for the plus strength piece, because the plus strength piece is pretty scary as well, this piece here. That's something I haven't said as well. I have been putting the plus strength piece in positions where he is kind of annoying, so where you need to give an extra, where Rylock needs to give an extra piece just to have the correct support to knock him out. So that's something I have been doing as well as the game has gone on. Though, of course, by doing that I am giving Rylock blocks when, realistically as Wood Elves, you shouldn't be. What I should be doing, and what I'm not doing, is constantly leaving everything off the opposition, and just taking one block when I can, and then the rest being free and creating a screen. That's basically how you Wood Elf. And I'm out of rerolls now, so that's another injury off a failed dodge. And minus movement, he's probably fired. I do have another rookie Wood Elf team waiting to have a go as well in Wood Wars, and they will be the team I play from now on in the Wood Wars. I do want to start afresh with them, but I wanted to give this team at least one shot when they were a little bit developed to see if I could understand how they worked a bit. And the reason I'm not talking so much about what's going on is because basically I don't have any players left on the pitch, and it's pretty easy for Rylock just to clean up at this point. And he's just knocked out another one, so I'm down to 2, and he's got the ball nice and secure. Pretty difficult for me to stop him at this point, and there's nothing I can say that can give you any kind of useful advice in this position. Having said that though, I am putting the injuries and the bad positioning down to myself, and Rylock's pretty solid play, to be honest. He's forced me to go on the offensive at times. Some failed dodges have helped him, sure, but mostly his positioning has forced me to fight him instead of run away. So I give all credit to Rylock in this matchup, and my own bad decisions to why I'm doing so badly. And I'm currently 3 players down, at the very least, so even if I get all my KOs back, Wood Elves don't mind being outnumbered, and it will be my drive, but I'm going to be a bit too outnumbered if I lose at least one more piece, or if not all the KOs come back. And on the plus side, the Yeti is wild animaling quite a lot though. He had no one to blitz, so he has nowhere to go. And we take a foul, because why not? May as well. And that's almost done. So I got one guy who can do a thing, and he's going to do that thing. He's going to blitz this guy. Alright, good job. And that's the end of my turn. Ah, okay, we're moving first. Then that's the end of my turn. So, to be honest, Rylock can just take the score, though he does have 2 rerolls, so he may as well try a free dice against this piece, and he can do it quite easily with the numbers he's got. He's going to try it with the Berserker, it looks like. Though if he'd set up more on this side, he could have had a double free dice. So if you put the Ulf here and rolled it here, he would have got a free dice twice. Though he only needed it once, so good enough. And another injury. So we're down to 7 players maximum, and that's a minus in agility, so he's probably fired too. At least they've both been linemen. And well done, Rylock, making the game 1-0. Conan the Baldrian. Oh, yeah, okay. Nice name. Okie doke then, so Rylock has the perfect drive. He almost completely fielded my team. 4 injuries and 1-0 up going into my drive. 2 of my KOs come back, which is a start. And of course one of his injury comes back, the one that was Apoed. So I'm dealing with both Ulfs again, and I'm dealing with a full team in the second half. And I have a team of 6 at the moment. We're not in the second half, sorry, we're at the end of the first half with 1 more play to go, so I do actually have 1 more chance to get my last KO. And I don't think I have the numbers to do a 1-turn touchdown, so I don't think I'm going to try, though to be honest I don't remember. I played this game over a week ago at time of recording, I think. At least a week ago. I'm pretty sure this is the agility piece, so he's going to be receiving the ball, and we're not going to try and do a touchdown, we're going to try and do some damage. I did think about it, I was looking at the leap as well, and in the end I decided against it. And Rylock does have kick, so he can cause a little bit of problems with that by kicking deep, meaning my passes are a bit harder, so my vanity pass this turn is going to be a little bit difficult. But both the War Dancers are going to take their block first. Ooh, that was good. It's just a stun though. And we're also going to hit the Yeti, because we get a 2-die for free with the strength piece. We may as well blitz as well, though I don't think I'm going to bother. Just going to take the vanity pass, okay. May as well get that extra SPP. Good enough. So now into the second half. Let's see if my last KO comes back, so I can at least have an 8-man team. 7-man team, sorry. My KO does come back, so I got 7 pieces going into the second half, at least. And his 1 injury means he still has a full roster, because he started with a roster of 12. So Rylock is standing back a little bit with the 2 Ulfs on the outside, the Berserkers in the middle, and the runner at the back, ready to catch the ball. And I think I'm going to go for a similar setup. I am, just trying to do some damage to those armor 7 pieces on the line. If I can knock a couple of them out, I have a small chance of getting back into this game. So I'm going to take those blocks when I can, then I'll reposition after that. That one's not good enough. Let's go secure the ball, because obviously we're back in a drive now, so I need to make sure that ball is secure. That looks good. Stun will have to do for now. Not ideal, but it will work. And the strength piece to knock out the mummy. Not mummy, the Yeti. No injury, but it does mean I can put the strength piece back in support of the ball. And the 3 guys together on the line, ready to deal with the opposition blowback. So the ball is mine, and the screen is relatively secure. So in Rylock's situation here, he can actually afford to give up a couple of pieces to locking up my line of defense. He can put a piece on each of the 3 in the screen, and he can basically put pressure on me to dodge every single piece. That's what I'd be doing in his situation. Though it does look like he's instead opting for a slow defense, where he's just going to try and do some damage to these pieces on the line. Oh, he's actually putting the Berserker on the ball. Alrighty then. That's actually not too bad for me. I'm quite happy with that outcome. It means that I can knock out the Berserker and move the ball, which I'm quite happy to do at this time. I may even leap a War Dancer over and try and get him out of the way a bit. Again though, I'm basing when I really shouldn't be. It's a really bad idea as Wood Elves. As is rolling a 2 down against the Yeti. Though, not much I could do about that. Though, that really should not have been my first action. Yeah, the thrower going here was a really bad idea. These guys could have moved, realistically. The War Dancer could have moved. We had to deal with the Berserker. That was the only thing that mattered that turn, and that's not what we did. So just bad play from me. And Rylock can actually score off the back of this quite easily. He can put the game away, actually, by making it 2-0 here. Because it's going to be hard for me to score 2 when I'm down numbers. Especially if he knocks out my agility piece. Which he didn't, it's just a stun. Yeti's behaving this half. That's bad news. And War Dancer is stunned as well. It's going to be a hard turn next turn. And Rylock can actually take his time getting to the ball. He doesn't even have to rush it anymore. Now, there's one thing that I can offer as a piece of learning here, actually. I've played games like this where I've been Rylock, and I've been playing against a elf coach who is inexperienced, let's be nice. And when I've played these kind of games, they will be going, oh my god, Nuffle, awful game, the dice are killing me. The dice are not killing me. My play is killing me here. And I'm willing to admit that, and it's kind of an important thing for any coach that when you're playing badly, you have to realize that sometimes when you think Nuffle is screwing you, just have a look at what you're doing wrong instead. And we go for a long pass, but the Norse decides that he wants to keep the ball, and he actually manages an intercept, so fair play. I should have actually moved the piece to the edge. He would have been surfed, but the ball would have been safer. Would have given me a chance to actually go get it next turn. But anyway, yes, the one piece of advice I can give to playing a game like this, once you've played it, instead of saying, damn you Nuffle, because I could say that, I've taken a lot of injuries, but a lot of the injuries, if not all of the injuries, have been my own fault. So it's important to know the difference. Yeah, we are really wild this half, so that's quite nice with the... not this half, sorry, we were wild the first half, now we're not... Now we weren't wild, but we're wild again. So, something changed in his diet in the last few turns, probably. And and Dancing War Dancer. I was going to say something else, it didn't come out right. Dodging War Dancer is what I wanted to say. So, dodge is working, though... If there is a next turn, there's a chance he's getting surfed. I have a small chance of the ball here. It is a small chance at best, but I'm going to give it a go, I think. It requires... No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm going to leave the ball then. Fair enough. Just try and do some damage and get a recovery when it comes back to my drive. Save myself from the surf, though, at least. And I'm trying to hit the runner, which is a really bad idea, because this runner has dodge, which means he is the hardest piece to put down. I'm better off punching literally anything on the pitch but the runner, but I picked on him for some reason. And I can't see Rylock stalling here, there's no real point. Even though giving Wood Elves lots of turns is a bad idea, when the team is in such a bad shape, it's not really such a big problem. So, yeah, we're not going to see a stall, just that's it. Ball goes in, 2-0. Well done, Rylock. Well played. Now, mostly I'm just going to try and save a bit of face here and try and get at least one touchdown in before the end of the match. That's going to be my victory condition for myself in this matchup, and that was what I said to myself when the second touchdown went in. I saw as soon as he had that double skull that no more tackles were coming, because Rylock is quite a sensible and safe coach. I've seen him play quite a lot, even though I've never actually played him myself before now. And I would like to play him again with a team that I'm a bit more comfortable with, because I think it will be a good game. But we happened to go for this matchup for whatever reason. I think I wanted to play as Wood Elves. But next time, I'll try and give him a bit of competition. In terms of setup then, we're going to put the War Dancers on the edge, though hopefully a little bit, inside a little bit more. And we're going to actually go for a touchdown this time. We're going to do what Elves are supposed to do, instead of trying to punch our way through, which we have been doing the whole match, which has not been working, and I've realized at this point. Wood Elves really are not designed for fighting. And we get a quick snap, and it's a pretty decent kick. I kind of hope it goes off the pitch, so I get a touchback. Though, if it does land anywhere here, it's a really dangerous kick, actually, for my Wood Elf team. And it does stay on the pitch. That's bad news. So we're going to have to focus down the one side, and we're going to focus on this side, apparently. And like I said, I'm going to try and do what Wood Elves are supposed to do, but I'm still standing on the opponent when I don't need to. And that probably should have been my blitz. Wait, that was weird. I'm trying to stop the team from coming this way. I understand what I'm doing here, but it's bad play. Though that stun is nice. And we're going to put the ball here, I guess, if we can. Give it to the strength piece, because he's the hardest one to put down. Bit of a long pass, but with plus agility, not too worrying, and it does work. We're going to see some aggression from Norse here, probably. They can put a bit of pressure on the ball. They can put a lot of pressure on the ball, actually. Though the goal, even now, is to give the ball to the War Dancer and get the War Dancer leaping out of the way. I've taken another injury from that piece that I put on the Berserker for some reason. So I got punished for that stupid mistake again. Again, I think every injury this game, apart from maybe one, has been my own fault. And yet he doesn't want to be wild this time. That's really bad news. Though at least he's only pushing. Oh, and he's going down. I will take that KO happily for that result. Now, need to make the numbers that I have count somehow. The agility piece is going to come in support. Would have been better off not standing on something again, but I am. And going to knock out the Berserker. And stand on them again. And we're going to knock down the Elf, which is useful. And KOing him is very useful. And this piece is going to go and threaten the score. I'm going to try and rely on block and dodge with the help of the strength piece. Good enough. The throw is actually a sacrifice as well. I kind of put him here on purpose this time. It was a decision made so these three couldn't move freely. So he had to at least risk one block before he had a chance to take down the War Dancer. Though to be honest, he could have just used the two pieces he's already used, and it wouldn't have been much of an issue. Well, the Berserker's free to do some punching then. And he's gonna go and blitz the War Dancer for sure, pushing him into the line. 2 down is great news for me. I can leap out and run the ball in. So finally it happened, finally I did some Wood Elf things, but still I'm putting way too many pieces base to base with the opposition. It's just really bad play. So this is a good example of what not to do as Wood Elves yet again. Hopefully the next match with Wood Elves will be more of a what to do with Wood Elves, at least one can hope. Not going to do anything else, just leaping out of the way here. Yeah, and run it in. Sorted. Well, saved a little bit of face with that one touchdown, though of course we're still way behind in this game, and we're not likely to steal the ball in, I think we have 2 turns left. I think we have 1 actually, I think Rylock has 2 turns left. And my knockouts keep coming back at least. And so does Rylock's. So at this point I'm down to 6 players, and of course the ball is going to Rylock. And I'm going to make sure that these 2 guys don't stay on the edge again. There we go, good. And yes, I have 1 turn, he has 2 turns left. All Rylock really has to do is keep hold of the ball now. He doesn't... I mean, he may as well take the blocks when he can, but he doesn't actually have to do anything but keep the ball. That's his only goal. Hey, get the ref. That's good timing. That helps Rylock more than it helps me. Though, to be honest, at this late point in the game, it doesn't matter anyway. We're not likely to use it. Well, dodge does what dodge does. That's a good start. Oh, and reroll is spent on a loner. Yeti has a 2 down again. And again I take an armor break off the 2 down against the Yeti. Oh, that's my favourite bit about this game. Wood Elves. They really like the grass. Well, to finish off, we're going to try and do some damage to the Berserker. That should have been the piece I was blitzing with, realistically. I'm going to hit 2 pieces, I see. And then we're going to take a hit against the Ulfarina as well, just to try and do damage to 2 pieces, and that will be the end of the game for us. Leaving Rylock 1 block and 1 blitz and a pass if he wants to. So... and dodge out. Yeah. So right at the end of the game, the Elves are doing basically what they should be doing. The first block is a failure, which is good news. And the second block is going to be with the Berserker, the Blitz. Oh, the skull. That's unlucky. Well, that's a sad end. But there we go then. Another really awful game of me playing as Wood Elves. I am starting to get the hang of them a little bit, I think, but it needs a lot more work, so I'm going to keep working on it. 1 touchdown, 2 passes, 6 armor breaks, with the movement busted lineman getting MVP. And on the Norse side, 2 touchdowns, 1 intercept, 24 armor breaks, most of them given freely, and a lineman getting MVP. SPP, we had... I don't usually do this actually on Wood Wars. Never mind, we had this as SPP. And having a look at the team as they stand now, if I can just find them. They're dropping out of wood anyway, but... yeah, I'm going to fire this agility lineman immediately. Bye-bye, agility lineman. And... I'm going to keep the movement as... minus movement as line fodder for now. So... the only level up I got from that was an extra dodge on a lineman, and I still can't replace the catcher that's dead, unfortunately. And I did fire the thrower after the match as well, because the thrower is completely useless too. So that's the team at the end of that. I do have a brand new Wood Elf team that are ready to go though. Eventually I will play a game with them, though it's difficult to find opponents at such low TV at the moment. So I do have this one ready to go, and I will play with them next time you see a game with me playing as Wood Elves. Hopefully I'll do better with them from now on. That's all for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Rylock, for being my opponent and having a great game. And see you all soon. Bye bye for now.